I got right fast. Okay, I know there's people in here, but they're not commenting, so also if you see it switch from dark to lights because I'm trying to keep the light on my laptop so you guys can see me, but I'm trying to swap tabs so I can check something. So if you see me going from like bright to literally you can't see me, that is why. So yeah. Hey Juan. Loki, I wasn't expecting to go live this late at night. If you don't mind, can I ask you something? Sure, as long as it's nothing bad. I do. Um, Speaking of which, I so I just announced that I was dating someone last time I was on stream. And you know what? I possibly could have just ruined that relationship yesterday. So, the bracelet for thank you. I got this at the mall. Like, it's not real, by the way. It's fake. I do want a real bracelet like this though. I forgot what brand it is. I know it's a designer brand. Okay, sorry. Mackenzie is asleep, my sister, so I have to be quiet. And the walls in my house are thin, so like anyone could hear if I speak loudly. So I'm gonna try. Does not help that her TV is on. There we go. Okay, I just turned the volume down on the TV, so hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. Hopefully, that's the goal. So you guys can hear me better. But often describing himself as okay, sorry. A lot happened yesterday. So I went golfing yesterday with my boyfriend, which I could have ruined that relationship with, by the way, yesterday. So, which I will get to, which is why I'm low-key awake right now. So I did go to bed for like 3 hours. I went to bed at like 12, and I woke up at like 3. So I did get some sleep. But now I can't go back to sleep because he was still awake and he messaged me, but I think he fell asleep. Real golf. Yeah, real golf. So my shoulder, like this entire arm is sore. My back is sore. We did 9 holes today. Yeah, we did 9. I am a beginner. He is not. He's played golf for 2 years. So he's teaching me. I actually did really good yesterday. So props to that. That was my second time playing. And I hit the ball most of the time. Basically, I think I only missed the ball twice. But yes, real golf. We played golfing twice so far together. The first time didn't go so hot. The second time, on the other hand, I did do better. Way better, because Instagram just so happened to know that I was going golfing yesterday, so a lot of stuff popped up my feed. Yes, we did use a golf cart. But that's not the point. We did go golfing. I do have pictures, but I'm not gonna show because there's none of me. There's only pictures of him that I took. So I'm not showing those. But anyways, story on how I almost had a relationship, and that's why I'm low-key awake right now. So, which I need your guys' opinion on this, whether, because I know that in some relationships there are like deal breakers where they will end it right then and there on the spot based on stuff that has happened. So we were on the phone with one another at like, this was at, we called around 9. We were on the phone until like 11, but this was probably around 10ish, I think. We were talking, and he wanted to know what I have done in a relationship. He already knew that I've had my first kiss. He has not. He knows that I have, which was apparent, which I will get at in a little bit. But he wanted to see how far I've ever gone in a relationship wise. And I told him not that far, because technically I haven't. Technically. But, and then I asked him the same question. And he came up with a fake story just to see if I had anything else that I wasn't telling him. Because this is also, I was also like talking about a past relationship, may I add. So I didn't feel like it was the need to bring it up that happened. And I said something, and he kind of got upset. Apparently, when he found out that I had my first kiss already, he was already thinking of ending the relationship, and that was like a week ago. But he said he got past that. But once he found out I did something else, he had to think about it, and this is where we're at today. He literally he said that he has to think about if me and him are still gonna be a thing. We are. That's what he messaged me at like 2 o'clock, and I've been awake since 3. I briefly told him stuff about my past, but I feel like people should have no right to judge from past relationships, which now I'm not going to bring up past relationships anymore, because now I'm genuinely scared. If I say something, it's going to get threatened again, which again, I know that there are deal breakers. He just thought he would have like first with someone else, like first kiss, stuff like that, like, and it be their first 2, if that makes sense, like first kiss. I do. I'm playing golf for the guy, okay? I actually am enjoying the sport, but like, it's his sport, not mine. I'm a running athlete, not swinging golf club athlete, but it is fun. My arm is very sore. So, yeah, and I know that there are deal breakers in a relationship when it comes to stuff like that, especially when it comes to religion and everything. So it's not like I was getting upset, but I was getting to the point where, so you want to end things over something that happened in the past, which I didn't let follow through, like in that decision. I didn't let it fall through back then because I wasn't comfortable with what the situation was. I'm not saying what it is, by the way. I'm just genuinely, I'm making it known that it was something I wasn't comfortable with, and I had it stop immediately. And I told him that, and he was still having to think about whether me and him could still be together, because of the fact that if it were to ever happen with him, he would think that I've already done it with someone else. Make sense? Even like a first kiss. So it's interesting on how it's like that. Which I can like see the understanding, because like I said, there are deal breakers in a relationship. So it's not like I was upset. Like, I understood like where he was coming from. 100%, I understood where he was coming from. But now I don't want to bring up anything from my past now. That is gonna put it at a threatening line again, which I think that is fair because I don't need to tell him everything that has happened in my past relationships. I feel like I don't need to. He doesn't have the right to know what happened in my past relationships. If that makes sense. I don't know. I low-key just slept on it. He's been awake this entire time, and then he messaged me. But I think he's passed out now because then we were talking about it, and I replied, and then I haven't got anything back. I think he fell asleep. But then again, he does have church in the morning, so yeah. My suggestion is that don't tell him everything because this, yeah. Here's the thing, I've already told him a lot, but I feel like it's not necessary to tell him anything that happened in my past relationships when they weren't even that serious. Those relationships were like a month long and nothing really happened in any of them. So it's not necessary to bring up what happened in them if nothing really happened in them. So yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of just awake thinking because, well, I slept for 3 hours. So then I took a nap technically, but I wasn't planning on waking up. I was planning on staying asleep until morning, but that did not work out. So I guess I just knew that he messaged me, so I woke up. I don't know. Are you going to church? No, I've gone to church once with him. He is Catholic. I'm Christian, but I told him I would try Catholic. I told him I would. I went once. I don't mind it, but I'm not going. Especially if we did. Would you consider that a fight? Because we technically were at like a threatening point of our relationship. Would that be technically a fight? Because if that was a fight, then my red flag is out the window now. Good morning. If it's relationship threatening, is that considered a fight? Or no? Not having to think about that. Oh, also, by the way, this is the only guy I've ever been with that I willingly wore a dress for. Well, it wasn't yelling, we were texting, but I could definitely, like, feel it coming from his side that he was upset. This happened over text. It didn't happen in person. If this happened in person, then no. No, this was through text, but I could feel the emotions coming through the screen. Considering the fact we were actually on the phone when we were texting one another, and then he hung up. Why you look emo? It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in my dark bedroom because it is nighttime, and my sister is sleeping. And also, the shirt looks emo, but this is just a shirt that I've had for a long time. And I'm wearing shorts, so it comes up to here. So I'm just wearing this because all my other shirts were dirty. Also, I only have the shirt because the fact it's funny. I am not emo though. I'm lucky just sitting in my dark bedroom because it is nighttime. The shirt kind of does make it look emo, but like I had it for the fun of it. So I would show you, but like I'm just sitting on the edge of my bed with my blanket right here and stuff like that. I'm not emo. Trust me. Although I did have a phase in like 6th grade, but that was like 4 years ago. I'm not trying to be mean. I know you're not trying to be mean. I'm just like throwing that out there that I'm not emo. I'm sorry. It's really like it's almost 5 in the morning and I've only gotten 3 hours of sleep. So if I seem rude, I'm very, very sorry. I usually am not awake at this time ever. So again, apologize if that came off a little rude. Okay, anyways, back to also, I am losing my voice right now. I did realize like the past 2 days because my voice has been going in and out. You should make an effort to hang out or at least speak with him today, maybe after church. I have work today, but we're supposed to hang out Monday if that's still happening. I don't know if that's still happening or not because he doesn't know yet. And me and him, I still have to talk a little bit about what happened because, you know, we're trying to settle this in like the right way. So we had, I'd say it's just more of an argument. It wasn't like a fight, but it was more of an argument, I think. I'd put it more towards an argument, not a fight. If you have work, I don't have work until like late afternoon, so I can take a nap later. It's fine. What was I saying? I've gone to work on like an hour of sleep. I'll be fine. But I don't know if we're still hanging out Monday. We were supposed to go on a hike, so I will see if that's still happening. I don't know if that's still happening or not, but we will see. I'm hoping it does, and it would give us a, moment to talk and not just through text. Like I said, we were just hanging out yesterday, and then this all happened later in the night. Like, this happened between like 10 and 12 o'clock. Like, that entire like argument. So we're settling it like we're responsible teenagers. We're handling it. We're talking through it right now, which I think like the last thing it was said, last thing he said, well, not the very last thing, but just have a big problem to get through, and then that's when we started talking about it. So he asked, we're talking about it like responsible people would. So that's what we're doing. I did send a message, but I don't know how he feels about it because, ow, my back. Sorry guys, my back hurts. Do you feel sad? I did, because when he told me that he was thinking about ending it, of course I was sad. But he's not ending things. Yeah, I'm still a bit of in shock of what happened because I was not anticipating that was going to happen at all. But I am doing good. I'm trying not to let it get to me because we're not ending things. That's why we're dealing with it. Ow. Guys, if you're playing golf, oh my gosh, it takes a toll on your back. Yeah, my entire arm through here hurts, and then my entire back. This arm's fine, but this is the arm that you're mainly swinging with when you're golfing. So, like, it hurts, just the muscle. So if you guys see me messing around my arm or my back, that is why. I just realized something. I have work and I carry food with this hand on my tray. So, actually, what am I saying? I did 80 push-ups and so went to work. Never mind. And that was a painful 2 days. Oh, so I also found something out. Mackenzie decided to go behind my back after I told her not to intervene in mine and his our argument. She messaged him, trying to defend me, even though I told her not to. Actually, I didn't see how popular it was when I went my first time because I was hesitant to even start playing golf with him when he offered to wanted me to come play with him, but it's actually pretty fun. I mean, it's an old person sport, but it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, it actually is kind of fun. But anyways, how do you guys feel if someone goes back in behind your back and does something that you specifically told her not to? She didn't go off on him. I could read the text messages, but I told her not to. I know she's got my back, but this needed to stay between me and him. I know she was trying to do something nice, which I don't know if that helped or not. But at the end of the day, if I ask her not to intervene in something that doesn't involve her, she probably shouldn't intervene. Because if this was the worst case scenario, where he actually did end things because she got in the middle of it, and not to mention she probably wasn't gonna tell me that she'd messaged him at all. Luckily, my face unlocks her phone, so I got curious and I went to her message between him, and she messaged. So I know she cares, and I understand she thought the situation was stupid at hand, and I did too. When are you gonna end life? I don't know. I don't know, but I probably should actually sleep soon. Try to get some sleep. But I don't know. I thought I would come on here and share the situation with you guys. Because I try to share some of my personal life with you guys, but I'd like to keep some of it in wraps. It's because we're twins. I don't know the guy, so I can't judge him. He might have a good reason, but whether or not you've kissed someone is a strange place to draw a line. It wasn't just that. Okay, no, he thought about breaking up with me because of that, like a week ago. But he said he was past that because he didn't think it was a big deal. This other thing, I could see where it draws the line, which I'm not gonna say what it is because I'm not going to. But it wasn't my fault, in my defense. The situation that happened, that I told him, wasn't my fault. It happened, but I stopped it as soon as it happened because I didn't feel comfortable with it. And that's what I told him, and he was still having to think about it. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to speak as loud as I can without waking anyone in the house right now. That, and I'm losing my voice a little bit, so it's coming out a little raspy right now. But I can't tell you guys a situation that happened that I told him about that made him question our relationship. But I also told him, like, hey, it's not 100% my fault. It happened, yes, but I stopped it from happening because I wasn't comfortable with the situation. Which I don't know if that's what got to him. So I don't know if that's like what he kept thinking about, which is why we're still together because of that. I don't know. But I don't think I was in the wrong for that at all. Because stuff can happen and you can immediately pull away from it, and that's basically what I did. And then somehow it went on to, well, it still happened. I'm like, yeah, I know it still happened, but I didn't want it to happen. Make sense? Like, there's stuff that he knows about me, so I don't know how that, out of all things, got to him. Like, what really happened? Yeah, like, what I told him that happened. I don't know. So also, by the way, I told him that situation that happened, which I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly what the situation was, but it was something. But he knows that, by the way, I hope this doesn't concern anyone in the chat because this happened years ago and this is already in the past. I was sexually assaulted when I was younger by my uncle. I will say that. So I think only one person in the chat knows about that because I shared it a while back. And he knows about that. And yet he questions a situation that happened. And so it's weird how I can tell you that and then I tell you this and it's different. Which it kind of is, but like he has a big thing on firsts, as like he wants his first with someone else that hasn't had that first yet. So he wants to be with someone that can experience it together, if that makes sense. Uh, so how can he experience like really any kind of relatively reasonable first if I was sexually assaulted when I was younger? But I told him that situation and it got to him. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like that's what I've been thinking about is like if he knows that happened and he wants to have like more relationship first with me, I don't relatively see how that's ever gonna happen. And plus, he can't have that big of a like guideline because at his age, anyone he's ever gonna date is always gonna already have a first like kiss or something in general. So the fact that he has like that high of standards is kind of crazy. I don't think it's jealousy. He has standards and I can understand those standards, but I'm also thinking like at your age you're not going to find anyone that already hasn't had that first yet. Cuz people are already having relationships in high school and you're in your senior year of high school and you think you're going to find someone that hasn't already had their first something just in general. So, I don't know if any of that made sense, but what's your job? Oh, I work as a server at a retirement home, so I work with old people. Yep, fun. Which he might be coming to my work event at the end of the month, maybe. Um, yeah. He might be waking up soon. Okay, he's asleep because that was over an hour ago. Anyway, I'm very sorry for like stringing this like all on you guys, but like I need someone to talk to about this and actually get opinions on it because I feel like we might both be in the wrong, but like I don't see where I can be in the wrong. But like I know I probably should put myself in the wrong, if that makes sense. I don't know, a lot of things are confusing me about the whole thing. Exactly, because I didn't know like you're gonna do stuff in past relationships just because you haven't had those first with anyone else uh, doesn't mean I hadn't already. So, like, I don't have control over what I did in the past and how that's gonna reflect on my present or future. I'm not mad at him, by the way. Before anyone thinks, I'm not mad at him because he does have a reasonable point, but I don't see how it can reflect on me now if it's something that happened in the past. So, but I think at this point, whatever happened in the past, I'm gonna leave it there unless it's strictly like gonna like I know is gonna affect something. Like if it's something about me personally that happened in my life, like as a kid or something, like part of the trauma that I've experienced that I want him to be well and like aware of, I will tell him. But I think past relationship wise, I think I'm gonna keep them on the down low and not say anything because honestly, it I don't need to be bringing that up anyways. Those are my past relationships. It's not my present and it's not my future. He needs to understand that he knew some info that you share already, and now it's an issue for him. Probably just seems weird to me because yeah, but then again, he is also young. Well, he's older than me, but he's 18, so okay, he's not 18 yet. He's 17 right now, but he's turning 18 in December. So I can see, because people have expectations and they want to live up to that, but it's not always going to pan out that way. Most people will look for experience, and he does not want experience. He wants to experience it with someone, if like, as their first and his first. But that can always go wrong really fast, I think. Especially if neither party's having experience. Like, guys, at least I have some type of experience. It's probably. Oh, by the way, I don't mean. My head's starting to hurt. Okay, well, you can hop off. I know your head's probably hurting. This is a lot that's going on. But that's why I'm on here getting opinion, because I low-key thought I was in the wrong, but I'm not gonna say he's in the wrong either, because he has the right to, like, well, kind of. He kind of has the right to be upset, but at the same time, that wasn't ever discussed when we first got together. That was a big thing with him. So, and I did just talk to him yesterday through text message, because we're moving at a very slow pace in the relationship, because we've only been going out for a few weeks. And I told him that I would much rather have this move slow than to have it go fast and then blow up in our faces. And that's what we're doing. So today, or yesterday, we talked about what we were comfortable with relationship wise. Like, what is okay to do in a relationship and what is not okay to do. Well, let's be positive and be open and listen, talk it out. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're being open about it. So, we have a few things that we've already talked about, we've already established, which is what I wanted in the first place. Luckily, we both are fine with the same stuff, which is just the basic relationship stuff, like holding hands and stuff like that. He has the right to have deal breakers, but those are up to him to get past. You can't change it. I know I can't change my past. So, yeah. If I could change my past, everything that I went through as a kid would have never happened. A lot of things in my past would have never happened. If I could go back and change it, I would. Trust me. There's a lot I probably would have changed. Are you doing another lying? Because I see more lives. Those are probably past live streams. If you see lives on my channel, those are probably past live streams that I've filmed. They get posted in my channel so people can go back and watch them. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm not mad with him. It's understandable, and yeah, people can have deal breakers. I would have a deal breaker too. But my deal breaker would never happen until later on in the relationship. I only have one deal breaker, but that you won't experience until later on. And if you're curious what my deal breaker is, it's more of a red flag. If you and your partner never fight or argue, like, if you guys are perfect, that is a red flag. No one is perfect to where they're not gonna argue. If you guys never argue or fight, it's not gonna work, because that means, like, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. I'm here, trust. I'm in Texas, a couple hours ahead of you. I must start a cup of coffee and cook up some breakfast. Okay, you do that. Milky coffee sounds good. But I am not gonna be drinking coffee. I have my Dr. Pepper, but like, I don't. You guys tell me if that's a good deal breaker, not arguments and fighting. If there's never an argument or fight in the relationship, that should be a deal breaker later on down the road. I told him if there's like not an argument like within a year, like, if that's a red flag. Which I think a lot of people actually have that as red flag. If you guys never argue, because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. No one's perfect. You're gonna fight. You're gonna argue. if you fight with your family, you should be fighting with your partner because of the fact that you guys weren't raised together. You could just start a fight. Well, I guess I would consider this an argument, kind of, because I was trying to get my point around and it wasn't being heard, kind of. I don't know if this would be considered an argument or not. I feel like it would be because there was, like, disagreements. He hung up and started texting. That's a fight. Okay, actually, you know, that's pretty valid. He did hang up. Okay, see, I don't even mind that. And he hasn't done anything, like, in the fight that has made me, like, question at all. There's only one thing that would also... I have red flags, which he doesn't have so far. I'm very happy. I apparently have a red flag, guys. I'm too mean, apparently. Which I do come off that way at first. I will say that. People think I'm very scary at first glance. I am not, I swear. I am nice. But one of my red flags for a guy is if they start comparing me to someone else. But what if y'all break up because of the fight? True. But there's always a work through every fight. I'm just saying that there's never a fight. Like, if it gets to, like, a really bad fight, then you kind of have no control over that. But I just mean in general, if you guys never fight, there's always going to be a fight in a relationship. That's all I'm trying to, like, put across. Like, my parents argue, and they've been together for, like, 6 years. So. And they barely argue. They argue, but barely. They barely get in fights. They barely do anything. Which is what I look for is... I don't want to fight, but, like, if it happens, it happens. And it better be over something reasonable, not something stupid. And instead for both of them, like, both parties getting upset, like, I would say try hearing one another out before escalating it to something it doesn't need to be. Because that's how I would much prefer a relationship go than both of them escalating it right there on the spot when you guys can work through the problem. Like, face to face, have reasonable conversation, stuff like that. You know, like, actually act like you're an adult, act your age, deal with it, don't escalate the problem like you're in kindergarten. Like, say Timmy stole your crayon and you escalated the situation. Like, don't escalate the situation just because someone stole your crayon. You can get more crayons. I'm sorry, that's a terrible example, but, like, that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm just saying, don't ask me why Timmy and a crayon popped into my head. Because personally, I don't know why that just popped into my head as an example. But I think that made sense. I think that was a pretty self-explanatory example, I think. I don't know, do you guys agree with that? Personally, I feel like every relationship should not be escalating the situation. I'll say it needs to be escalated, but there should never be a time where it should be escalated to something it doesn't need to be. Okay. Not bad. Kenzie's snoring. True, just keep calm. Yep. Just keep calm. That's what I try to do, is if I ever get into a fight, I usually try to just keep calm and just, I want to solve it. I don't want to, like, turn it into something it doesn't need to be. That's one thing I sadly didn't get the luxury of witnessing from... She does sometimes, rarely. Is it really dark outside? Well, my room is dark. So, besides the TV and then my screen that is helping the light. But I have my window open so that it's only 5, almost 6 in the morning. So it is dark, but it's dark in my room. So, but the TV is not reflecting that much light. Then you got this little thing over here. Yes, it is dark outside. Isn't it? Yeah, actually, it is a little light outside now that I see it. It's starting to get light. Not really light, but light enough. Probably should get some sleep though. That way, when I wake up in the morning, me and him can finish our conversation after he's done with church and before I have to go to work. Because I'd much rather have this ended and we can go back to not like move forward from this. So I actually am gonna get off stream. Thank you guys for listening and everything and sharing your opinions on it. It did actually help a lot. I will say that. I very much appreciate it. But I am going to try to get some more sleep because I only have 3 hours of sleep right now and I will probably need more. So I am going to try to get some rest and I will try to stream later today. So if you guys want to pop on later today and ask how it went, I will share. So just keep it in mind. If you guys are new, then subscribe and then I will pop on later today and tell you guys how it went. And you guys can get the full update if you would like. But yeah, we will see how it goes later today. Hoping it goes good. So I'm gonna see you guys later.